All right, standard 4-pill video. Probably just gonna drive a radio into it just to show that it's doing good, depending on how it does with just a radio. We'll kick some more drive into it if need be, but this one's pending sold to a local this evening. He's supposed to be coming and getting it. Remote jack on the back. One thing people don't always figure into the price. If you ever want to run a remote, this one's already set up with a remote jack, so you don't have to pay to get that done or whatever. But this is how they come, obviously. 4 HG2879. Standard 4-pill. I've done several videos on these, so probably going forward, I don't know that I'll do a full output test on all of them before they sell. I may just hook a radio up to them, just to show that they're right. Obviously, if one of these does like 100 watts with a radio hitting it, there's something wrong with it. But if it gets up and does pretty good, you can tell if one's working good or not. So pause the video. I'm going to unwrap it, hook it up, test it. Probably hit it with this 76 here that I've got to ship out to George. I did a video on it earlier. I'll probably hit it with it since it's pretty stout. And, it's doing like 11 or 12 average. As long as we can get the dead key up high enough, which shouldn't be a problem because I think it keys like 8 watts. So we'll hook this up, do a test on it, just a pre-sale test. You guys know I like to do that for myself and the customer. I try to do it on everything that leaves here. So we'll be right back. Just going to run the radio into it and see how it does. All right, bear with me. We'll be back. All right, so we're back. Got this thing hooked up. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the volume wide open. Noise blanker is off. Turning the amp off does not increase or decrease the noise difference. So some of these guys, you get an amp and the fans will bring in some noise. We're not getting any of that with the amp on or off. Now, I've got the dead key about halfway on here. That's where we're going to run it. We'll just make it halfway just for the record. Just so we got enough to key the amp up. This radio does 11 to 12 watts average and was doing about 50 or so PEP. So, going to drive it pretty good. Drive it pretty mildly, but for just a radio, it's going to drive it good. Now, the guy getting this, he's got an 80 watt radio that he says he's going to put into it, so he can probably expect a bit more out of this thing than what we're seeing. And on the standard HGs, I recommend below 150 watts. That's just me. Some people will run them harder, but a 100 watt radio or something, 80 watt radio, perfect for these. But anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's show you what it does. 11 watts average, 10, 11, 12 watts average going in, 50 PEP. We're on average power first. Bottom scale. So that big hash mark is 100. Audio radio. So 180 average. Now again, we're running this thing. We're not running it hard at all on average power, so that's getting it pretty good. Max power, expect to see 400 watts average or so. Driving it with 40, 50, 60 average, you're going to see that average power come up. But now we're on peak. Peak hits on, 1,000 watt slug still. If you can see that. Bottom scale, PEP. Audio, over 600 watts, 600 easy on the money. Audio test, 1, 2, 3, audio test. It's capable of 900 to 1,000. But again, just hitting it with a radio, audio test, 600 watts. And it's a standard HGs. Standard HG2879 4-pill audio. And I'm looking at my voltmeter over here and amp meter, 14.5 volts, drawing, look like around 40 amps, give or take there. So hard to say with a digital meter, but doing good. That's what I recommend running them at, 14.5. Obviously, this radio is driving it good. Lightly driving it, but for what we're putting into it, we're seeing really good output, in my opinion. Over 10 times what we're putting into it. So 12 watts average is equaling 180 average out. 50 PEP is equaling 600 PEP out. Now, once we start increasing the drive, you're going to start getting diminishing returns to a certain point. So that doesn't mean if we put, 40 watts average in that we're going to see 500 or 600 watts average out. That's not how it's going to work. But 40 to 50 watts average, expect 400 average out. 140 PEP, expect 900 plus out of this thing. That's it, guys. This one is pending sold. The guy's supposed to be getting a hold of me and coming and getting it this evening. If he does not get it this evening, it will be available, unless he creates a plan to get with me, within the next 24 hours. But this one is sold. He heard me talking about it on the radio and decided this is something he would be interested in. So I think it'll make him a fine amp. Fatboy Standard 4-pill HG2879. If you guys are interested in this or anything else I post or need to place an order, shoot me a text, 423-299-3535. Rooster in Tennessee. See you, bye.